you want to tell me the thing that you finished?
Yeah, I can tell you the thing that I finished.
Great.
The thing that I finished is reading the instruction manual for the board game Daybreak.
Oh, fuck you. Boo!
There it is again. I'm just going to let Jen have the response. I'm just going to let this run its course.
Now, you've got 5 more topics that you're going to bring, right?
No.
To round it out.
No, to my 6 topics.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
So I got home today and I went, shit, I was going to do that joke where I finished the Daybreak book. Listeners, I'm not going through what we talked about last week. It's in the last episode. All right. It's a board game about fixing climate change. I haven't got a chance to play it, so I'm reading the instructions.
Did you get a chance to fix climate change, though?
I didn't get a chance to fix climate change. That takes longer than opening a board game, believe it or not. Well, it depends who you are, actually. If you're like the president of the United States, I'm pretty sure you can do it with like a stroke of a pen. But anyway.
Right, do you think that they could like if they just decided to, just put all, like, I don't know, fuck feeding the homeless or whatever. Just put all of the money.
Okay.
All of it.
Okay.
Into fixing climate change. Mm-hmm. Well, I think you could brute force it.
Okay, I think it depends.
Like, I think you could make enough ice and just put it
back in the sea.
Send it to put it in the ocean, put it to the North and the South Pole or whatever. If you just brute force the reversal of climate change, I think you could do it.
It depends on what you define as fixing. Because, like, do we have the resources necessary to abate more effects of climate change and reach net zero? Yeah, absolutely. Are we going to do it fast enough? Well, that's the key question.
I mean, we haven't.
And that's the other thing. If you're talking about fix, it's like, well, we've already lost things that are not coming back.
Yes.
And there are irreparable things. But also, the further we go, the more tipping points we reach and the worse it gets faster.
I think I'm just talking about making it not an issue anymore.
Absolutely. We could do that.
Yeah.
It would just take time and things will keep going badly in that time. But if we're putting all of the collective resources of humanity...
I'm saying we have a week, right?
A week? I don't think you can fix it in a week.
I think we could fix it in a week. If we really wanted to.
We can implement everything necessary to have it fixed in the long term, but you can't just drop it after a week and have it fixed.
I'm just saying we do some real abrasive stuff.
We do cloud seeding. We just cloud all the sky is cloud now.
Maybe.
Well, there's gonna be some issues with that.
I'm saying we're prioritizing the planet and not the people.
Okay, but the thing about saying
if the planet hypnotized everyone, right, and said, Ooh, you have all been evil for a while, but I want you to fix me. I'm feeling a little ill. I want you to tend to my little loins.
Yep.
Everyone, give me some of those sweet, sweet ice cubes. I want to lick them. Can you send some bombs to the wherever you want to? I don't give a shit as long as people die. The people that just find whoever's doing the big bad stuff and kill them. And send me those sweet, sweet ice cubes. And I don't know, stuff fucking tearing down the trees in the Amazon or whatever. That'd be great.
This Earth is real confused about its priorities.
It just prioritizes me.
I think it just wants to feel colder. It doesn't actually want to fix any of the problems.
Oh, I love that ice. That ice dripping down my... Ooh. Anyways, see you in a week. Look, if we did that, if they hypnotized everyone and whispered into everyone's ears like that, well, mouths directly to you, because that's the most effective way to communicate.
I wouldn't know.
And everyone just did it. I think we could do it in a week.
Okay, so this is the I was going to say age-old question. This is the relatively new 20th and 21st century question of like, if you had an AI or a benevolent dictator or a like completely willing group of humans willing to do anything to solve a particular problem, how much are you willing to pay to fix that? Like you said, like, for example, not feeding the homeless people, or like, which is not that far off, because one way to solve this is to reduce demand, especially for energy, but also for all goods. Like if we let our living standards go backwards, we can fix climate change much more easily, because the biggest problem is that we're using too much shit and too much stuff that is not sustainable, right?
Have you seen that thing about how we have an issue coming up of too much solar panel energy?
This is why we need batteries and pumped hydro, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
Everyone knows this, because when the sun's out, there's more... We get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more you connect stuff, the better, because when the sun's over there, it's less likely to be over there, and you can send that power over there.
Have you seen the other thing of the people who had the idea of what if we put mirrors in space?
Yes.
and just shine them.
Yes.
And so that we have sun for longer in particular spots.
Yes. Oh, I hadn't heard mirrors in space. I heard the opposite, which is like satellite coverage in space for just literally let less sunlight in.
Oh, no. These are some folks who...
Which, based on the fact that we can't get 2 astronauts home from the only thing that's orbiting our Earth right now, I don't think we're going to be able to do that.
only thing that's orbiting our Earth is not...
No, it's all the trash we accidentally put there and also 1 successful space station.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Elon Musk shrapnel.
Yeah.
But besides that, the one...
But I'm not counting that as part of the collective output of humanity on account of the fact that he isn't part of humanity. So, anyway, what I'm saying...
Wait, what I'm saying...
Yeah, what do you say?
Is you strap a big... No, what I'm not saying, other people are saying right now.
Some say... The classic Fox News...
If you strap a
some have
big
said,
mirror
yes.
to like a helium balloon
and
put it in the atmosphere, then it shines down sunlight onto an area where you might have a solar farm.
Like a big desert.
Sure, whatever.
Right.
But it's not going to be a big desert, and also it's a bad idea because you just won't see the stars ever again.
Oh, that's sad.
And like, if you're the neighbor of someone who has a solar farm with a big balloon with a mirror on it, you're just still going to get bleeding sunlight into your air. Like, it's a stupid idea.
Forever. Also, there's plenty of sun.
Yeah.
Like, amount of sunlight, one of the only things we're not running out of.
That's true.
There is a near constant stream of that stuff coming in for the foreseeable future. I'm talking however many billion years it is. I think we got another 4 or 5 left.
Oh, fuck, is it that many? Damn.
Yeah.
All right. What were you saying?
I was talking about the genuine, like, we joke, but there's a genuine question about, like, well, if the billion people in India want to be lifted out of poverty and to have air conditioning, we're going to need to make a bunch more energy. And if that has to come, that new generation has to come from renewable energy, then that is a slower phase out of coal. And you can't, there's no win-win. There's just, let's go as fast as we can.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Pedal to the metal, baby. By that, I mean, pull back the metal a little bit, maybe focus on some more.
Right. But this thing of like fixed in a week, well, we could assign the money for the necessary infrastructure in a week, but are we turning off the coal plants in that week?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, you're talking complete economic and social ruin.
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Reuben, when I started it by saying, fuck feeding the homeless people.
I feel like that was too low stakes. Not that it's not important. I just think that I didn't see I don't want to say grandeur, I want to say magnitude of your vision.
By that,
magnitude
I meant, like,
in the sense of like that's how we measure fucking earthquakes.
That's... Feeding homeless people is mostly managed on like a local level.
Yes.
It's funded all the way up. But so that was my example of like,
okay,
this is from the top to
every
the bottom.
single,
Nobody gives a shit about anything anymore besides stopping climate change.
Well,
so is that
in
an
that case
option
would be fine.
In this game that you read the manual of?
Well, I haven't read the cards, so I don't know what all the options are, but
what are you bringing to the table here?
We just had a great chat about the economic realities of climate change.
Yeah, because I
Don't
realized...
check the time on the recording.
I realized that you didn't bring anything as you finished it, effectively. So I've been massively pivoting.
I did too. I've now learned about crisis cards, that thing that I said last week I didn't know about.
Reuben, I've been making bold claims about not feeding people who deserve to eat. Simply because you decided to not bring a topic this week.
I've got plenty of topic.
All right, go ahead then.
All right, I will.
Shut up.
Yeah, great.
I will.
Do. You won't be able to. Trust me, I did it for 15 minutes once in an episode and you were talking and I wasn't and I did it and I don't know if you can. So, this is great. This is like 7 minutes in heaven from Gamey Game, the podcast that Jett really likes that I get to talk about without them talking about it now. I'm like, wow, okay, this is like... I'm trying to think of like a metaphor from mythology or from like the classics or something of like, I don't want to say Garden of Eden because there's actually not that much there. There's like one fucking apple tree and a snake. I mean like Aladdin's cave, Smaug's hoard kind of vibe where like I am walking in the door and I'm seeing this illustrious glitter and it's just like all the things that I can talk about without Jett being able to interrupt me. And it's like, I want to sit on that like a dragon for 1,000 years and talk about all of them, but I don't have
Clearly you don't have anything to talk about.
You're fucking talking, that's what I thought. Now that you're talking again, let me talk about...
walking through Smaug's cave. What are you clearly fluffing. You're not even talking about the fucking game.
Let me talk about crisis cards. I'll talk about the game now. I just wanted to prove that you couldn't do it, and you can't. So... what happened that fourth part of the game that I was talking about last week? Again, listeners, I'm assuming you've heard all of last week. If you haven't, go back and listen to that. How'd you get to this finished if you didn't listen to that? crisis cards happen. So you get one at the start of the turn that's called the forecast crisis, which means we all get to see what it is and try and fix it. And then we get...
Give me an example of what it could be.
Okay, so it could be like oil industry negligence, which makes everyone like lose some trees, I think, which means you're going to sequester less carbon. It's bad, right? You need trees. But if you see that forecast at the start of the turn, then when every player's taking their individual turn, we can put, I think it requires 2 like regulation icons. So basically it's a bit like every card has a few things that can do. So instead of having one value, like a cost in energy or money, it's like this one has an action that you can use, or you can use it as icons, like kind of like resources. So one might have like 1 tree and 1 regulation, or like freaking one social resilience and 1 ocean or something, right? Mm-hmm. So this...
I don't think there are as many oceans as you think there are.
Famously, there's 7.
That's what I'm saying. How many... Like, if you pick up a card that has a resource of 1 ocean, you've basically won the game. You own a 7th of fucking Aquaman's domain. Like, that's
but it's heating up
and
and acidifying, so it's a bad ocean.
Not if you put a bunch of ice in it.
Not if you put a bunch of ice in it. And so what you can do is if all the players work together to put at least 2, it's called regulation. It's a little pink scroll. It's basically like laws where you thought about it beforehand. Laws where you told them
laws?
actually... Yeah, regulation. Laws. That's what it is. That's what it represents in an abstract
but
way.
You're saying laws where you thought about it beforehand.
Yeah, because most laws they don't think about beforehand.
That's what
they
you're
just fucking guess. Yeah. I know what I said.
Okay. Sorry, my bad.
And if at least two of those get tucked under the card, it's like negated. So it's like the oil industry negligence didn't cause massive environmental destruction of trees because someone told them to just stop, right? So that's how it works. But then depending on how warm it is...
Hey, oil. Hey, big oil. How you doing? Just thought I'd come in and say, why don't you stop with that big oil and you can come over and... tuck a little ice down my pants and we'll have a nice time. Okay, that's all.
And then depending on how warm it is on the temperature track that you're filling up with carbon, there are more crises that are called, I don't know, I think they're unknown or something. So they're face down. So basically at the end of the round you get to those and it's like, well, you couldn't put in like your regulation icons or your fucking resilience icons to stop that because you didn't know it was going to happen. You didn't know which one was going to happen. And then the only other thing that happens in that part of the turn is the warmer it gets, there's a dice that you roll, and on one side of it, it's got all the various like things that are getting worse. So it's got cutback of the Amazon, like you said. It's got permafrost thawing. It's got ocean acidification, desertification, something about major weather.
Desertification?
Yeah, it's not as good as it sounds. And it's got one other one that I've forgotten. And basically...
Frosting? Any sort of frosting?
No frosting, but it does have sprinkles.
Is that's in the ice caps one?
Yes.
The frosting.
The frosting's in the ice caps, that's right. And you roll that a certain number of times depending on how hot it is. So that's what I'm talking about, like this escalating feedback loop of like the warmer it is, the quicker things are going to collapse. And then when they reach tipping points, it gets worse. Yeah.
So what did you learn from this?
I just told you. I just told you how the crisis events work. That's the whole 4th part of the turn. I just told you in explicit detail with examples.
But like internalizing it, what did you learn?
That this game looks really exciting.
Yeah, it looks really exciting. Would be nice if you played it or something.
Wouldn't it? Too bad I'm doing 3 podcasts this week. Anyway, I would recommend reading the Daybreak rulebook. I split it into 2, obviously. And that was a fun cliffhanger. I split it into more, I reckon split this into 4 separate readings. It's only like, it's not that many pages and they're pretty short, but like really just tease it out for yourself because you're only going to read it for the first time once. Also, it did mean that I forgot multiple things like how the game ends, how you win and how you lose. So I did have to read a good chunk of the rulebook a second time as I was doing this.
The end bit isn't at the end?
The end, no. The lost states are at the end, but the win state happens partway through a turn.
What's the lost state?
There's 3 ways to lose.
If you're going to go into it, don't just tell me about the one thing that you read. Tell me all of it.
All right. Well, let's see if I can...
Look, I read a page and a half of a book. I'm going to let you know about the first 3 sentences. Like, if that's all you're bringing, just fucking read me the book at this point. It'll be shorter.
I should have done that. There's 3 ways to lose. Let's see if I can remember them. One way is you reach 2 degrees of warming. You fucked it, all right? Too much. You should have put some ice on the earth. Weren't you listening to the sexy earth voice? 6 turns. You're too slow and it's going to get too hot and you fucked it. You should have put some more ice on it. Didn't you listen to the Earth and the sexy Earth voice? And the third way that you lose is if any one player has a certain number, I think it's 12 communities in crisis. And communities get in crisis in a couple of ways. One way is if a bad thing happens, they panic. Like if a giant wildfire comes through their town, that's a crisis. But the other way is if you don't
No, that's fine. I know how to solve that one.
How do you
That's
solve
so
that one?
easy to solve.
What?
Go to Hawaii.
That was really good.
Go on a holiday, a little family holiday
was really
in Hawaii.
good. Did you like
Don't
how
tell
we-
anyone. But take selfies with people while you're over there.
That ended up in the yellow wheel work, that one.
Did I what?
That ended up in the yellow
No,
wheel
the
work.
thing before that. You
Did I,
said
what?
you said, did you do something? You're probably going to refer to another awful thing that Scott Morrison did.
Probably. I've forgotten the track of where I was.
Sorry, really need
Robo-debt. Did you
really
steal a bunch of money from people who didn't owe anything to the government and cause a bunch of people to kill themselves?
Well, I stopped
Did
feeding
you
the
do that?
homeless, so does that...
Oh, but you didn't fix climate change with that money food, did you?
No, I used that money to go to Hawaii
Yeah.
while my country was in crisis.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other way you lose. So they can get into crisis because bad stuff happens, but also if you just don't meet their needs. Think of it a bit like Power Grid, how you got to power everything even once you got the infrastructure.
Oh,
If you don't power everything, your community is going to be in crisis because they hate blackouts just as much as they hate a storm.
Blackout.
Nice. That musical you didn't like.
No, the musical I did like. I fucking love In the Heights.
I know, but you don't like the movie musical.
Well, yeah, it's a
as
movie
much.
that I don't like.
Yeah, the movie's a musical.
You know what the fun bit, one of the probably the best song in that is?
What?
The middle song, which is
House of Holbein?
a club doof one.
Oh, the club.
However,
Yes.
in the club,
Because they're in an actual club.
They're
so
in a
it
club
makes
and they-
sense. It's justified in the context of the musical.
and they're also singing about their emotions
Yes.
because they feel in them so much.
Yes.
They're like, man,
The emotion is, wow, you're really hot.
yeah, what a great premise for a song. Right? People should make more songs like that. I think that's fun. Really cuts to the core of humanity. And like, when are you not thinking, wow, that person's hot, right?
Right.
Everyone can relate. Some people can't, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That's on them.
Whoa. All right. Just for being how they are?
Well, who else would it be on? God?
Yeah.
All right, on God.
On God. That is what someone says when they are stepping up for the Olympic fencing championship and also they had a cold last week. On God. Anyway, that's enough of this section. I think you should probably just play Daybreak. You probably shouldn't spend 2 weeks reading the manual. What's the next section
I don't
called?
think anyone should ever read the manual. I don't think anyone ever needs to read the manual again. You know what board games are doing these days?
What are they doing? Tutorials that are on the cards?
No, instead of having the
Videos.
they're doing videos.
Yeah.
Instead of having instruction manuals,
Yeah.
they have like a QR code that links to the videos.
And it's good.
Is it? I don't do it. for my
I
games.
like having both options. Definitely the booklet's helpful for like reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm starting a new thing and there's a video option, I'll usually do both.
Right.
Even if there's not an official one, I'll be like, someone show me how to set up the game and start the first turn.
I don't think my game needs it, but maybe that's just me being
Not
pretentious.
your. I didn't realize that we're talking about the game that you designed.
Well,
thought
I
we were talking about
designed a game.
Yeah.
And
No,
I
yours-
have rules and I'm specific.
Okay, but your rule book is fun and short and interesting,
That's actually really
and each
fun.
paragraph is on a whole page, so you feel like you're making great progress.
Yeah.
Layout's a huge part of a rule book.
I have good layout.
Yeah,
Sick. Good to hear.
yeah.
All right. I won't do it ever then.
You could do a video just for funsies.
Nah, it wouldn't be fun though. It would be work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't do it just for funsies if it's work.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, what's the next segment called?
Fucked if I know.
Anyway, everyone, it's time for the next segment. Fucked if I know, where one of us asks a question that they know the other one will not know an answer to. Jet, you're up first.
All right,
If you
okay.
like, you can choose whether you'd like to ask a question first or answer a question first.
No, I'll ask a question first.
Okay.
All right. Ooh. All right.
Wait, do we have to know the answer to? It doesn't matter. We're figuring it out as we go. This is the new segment, everyone. Fucked if I know. And you have to guess. You have to spend some time genuinely trying to answer it, and then your guessing time ends with the sentence that you have to say, which is "fucked if I know." Just so you know, that's the rules.
Do you know? Oh, that's a thing that you might know actually.
I doubt it.
Find out. Do you
Yeah.
know how trees get like the water from the ground up, like opposing gravity?
Okay, guess time. Wait, whoa, hang on.
Yeah, right. Because the water gets to the leaves and
Okay.
shit. Like it feeds.
Okay,
goes
so
all the way up.
is it suction and the sap is juicy because they've got to have a bit of give in there, and they how do they power that? They
There's no
expand in
muscles.
heat and heat and cool, and they expand and contract and like suction it up out of the.
Just in hot places. Like, what do you?
Okay, but I also have I actually am realizing that I know even less than I thought, because like, how does the water come from the soil through the root? Does it got so thin it goes like through a membrane? Because like, that doesn't happen to my skin. What if that could happen to my skin? That'd be sick. The fuck if I know. How?
I don't know.
Oh no, how?
I don't know how.
Listeners, write in. One of you knows.
Someone write in. Email
There's
us.
a bunch of tree nerds.
stinishedit@gmail.com.
Naoka Malik could, but you specifically, if you don't know that
Damn,
one, I'm gonna be mad.
my
Yeah,
name.
I'm not hesitating to call out listeners.
All right, now your turn. You give me a question.
Oh, okay. Does it have to be something I also don't? I feel like it's fun if I don't know it and I'm guessing whether you know it or not.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
No, just
Anything.
no rules.
Okay.
I'm sick of these segments with rules.
Damn.
I'm burnt by last episode's
Breaking
breaking
news.
news.
Okay. Okay. Here's my question to you. My question that I think you won't know the answer to.
Yeah.
What are the rules of Break Your News?
So Break Your News is a segment that we have on this podcast in which we bring a piece of news that has to be vaguely new. Normally it's an announcement of some sort. And then my thought from the name of the fucking segment is that we have to have some sort of like controversial opinion about it, or not necessarily controversial opinion, but we need to, it might be spun in a particular way. Like it might be the news is some sort of an announcement that's trying to spin something as positive, but we're breaking it by saying, actually, no, when you think about this, it's not what they're saying, right? This is some sort of false information or not correct. Like we're breaking the news. It's not what you thought it was. We're doing a bit of that. But apparently what breaking news is we just bring news that we don't know, that we don't have an opinion. The complete opposite, that we don't really have any sort of opinion on. Or maybe we vaguely do. Fucked if I know.